What is the difference between stocks and cryptocurrencies? If you search it up, you'll read this first line that'll say cryptocurrencies are volatile, they're more unstable. On the other hand, stocks are more stable. So you're going to hear this. But we know for a fact that even though cryptocurrencies are volatile, agreed, they have a huge risk factor that you may end up winning a lot. Projects go to 100x, 1000x. People have become millionaire by just a few $1,000 investment, probably, or even $100 investments. So this is not there in the stock. You might have never heard this happening in the stocks, but you have heard this happening in the cryptocurrencies. So even though it has a higher potential, but there's a huge risk factor. In stocks, there's a less risk factor, but there's no huge returns. So this brings us to this one thing. Can there ever be a middle ground? Like a token or a coin that has a risk factor of those of stocks, but have the potential of the cryptocurrencies. And this brings us to our today's project that we're going to take a look at, that is called My Freedom Coin. In this one, even if the whole market crashes, this token, this coin, My Freedom Coin, MFC coin, it's never going to drop below a certain level, below a certain threshold, below a certain floor price, because it is backed not by people's speculation. It is backed by real treasury, a BUSD treasury, which is a smart contract. We're going to talk about how exactly is this made possible, but this is the first ever crash-proof asset that you're ever going to find. And it's just amazing. The concept itself is really amazing. Slightly complicated, but we're going to break it down. We're going to make it simpler so we all can understand. So make sure that you watch till the end, and still do know that even though there's like a very minimal risk factor, but because of the policies, I have to comply with those. So do know that anything I say is not a financial or an investment advice. So always do your own investigation and research before investing into a project or getting into a project. So make sure that you do that. And without further ado, let's get straight into the project. Now, here we are at the official website of My Freedom Coin. We're going to use this website to understand how this project works. In the intro, we talked about how they have created this ideal situation. And now we're going to get proof, and we're going to learn how is this being made possible, right? So this is the first ever crash-proof asset. That means even if the market crash, this token, this MFC coin, this is never going to crash below a certain point. And we're going to talk about how they've managed to create that point, or that floor value that I'm referring to as a point. So there is a BUSD treasury. Whenever any coin offering happens in any for any coin, the proceeds goes to the developer of the coin. In this one, the proceeds goes to a smart contract, a BB20 or BEP20 smart contract that holds that amount in BUSD. So there's a BUSD treasury. Now that BUSD treasury, it is willing to buy every single MFC coin in circulation. And because it is willing to do that, it creates a floor price. So even if this whole project crashes, even if everyone sells their MFC token, the BUSD treasury will still be there to back all the coins in the circulation. And if you divide the BUSD that is there in the wallet with the circulation of the MFC, you get the floor price. So we have $2 million BUSD in the BUSD treasury, and we have a circulating supply of MFC 14 million. So if you divide the BUSD treasury with this circulating supply, you get the floor price, which is right now of $0.14172. Now this is the value of the MFC, below which, this is not the current value of the MFC, this is the floor value of the MFC, below which the value is never going to drop. Currently it's trading somewhere at, I think it is at 0.259. So it's the current price and the floor price is only like 2x of, and the 2x difference. So this is where we have the floor, and as you can see, it is only adding up
it never reduces. It will never be, reduced. It will never go down. It will only increase. The floor value is always going to increase. Even if the current MFC price, you can see it falls down, it goes up, it falls down, it goes up. But this is not going to happen with the floor, right? And we're going to talk about how is this happening, how they have made this whole thing possible. Now, the way the BUSD is accumulated or added in the treasury is through the coin offerings. From time to time, they the coin offerings are placed for people to buy the MFC tokens, and that's when the BUSD goes to the treasury and the floor price increases. But there's another trick here. Not only that the BUSD is being accumulated, but whenever the MFC is used from the, let's say, from the coin offerings, from the transaction that happens, it is taken out of the circulation. So not only that the BUSD is increasing, the amount of BUSD is increasing in the treasury, but the circulating supply of the MFC, it actually gets reduced, it's taken out. So in that case, it's being, added. The floor price is increasing, and it will always increase. And this is what they have done. This is how they have made this crash-proof asset. Now, as we talked about, how is the floor price increased when the BUSD is accumulated and when the MFC is taken out. And we just talked about different ways through which BUSD is accumulated and the tokens are taken out of the circulation. Now, I think that's pretty clear. There's no, there's nothing, I don't think there's anything much complicated that we cannot understand. Although if you're still being confused, you have this video right here. It's just a 5-minute video, and it's going to explain every little detail with a very good presentation. So this is going to clear every little bit that I'm talking here. So it's right here. Just, don't worry about this. Now, in this chart here, you can see this illustration, how when other, coins are dropping, which you can see if you open up any exchange, if you go to the coin market cap, you can see how their prices have plummeted over this last month because of the market conditions. And these conditions are inevitable. There will always be time when the market will go down, it will crash, it will come back up, but there will be points where it will crash and people will lose money, along the way. But on the MFC, since we have this floor price and the price is never going to drop, or the value is never going to drop below that certain point, and that point itself is continuously increasing, all the basically the investments, the value of people's assets, that's safe in this one. So this one never crashes even when all of the other markets does. Now, this here, which I'm just going to read out, even though we have talked about this before. The funds generated from the coin offerings are publicly stored in a smart contract and not to any developer, to a smart contract that is willing to buy all coins in circulation, creating a floor price. Now this, the smart contract, basically this is the BUSD treasury, and this is open. This is completely transparent, so you can see every transaction that is happening. You can see every little BUSD that is being accumulated in that address. It's open to everyone to check. That's make it really transparent, very secure. And also they are getting the certificate audit, so that's another amazing thing that makes this project really safe. This is completely decentralized, so there's like no ownership to the BUSD, like the community actually owns this. It says all revenue generated on the platform via interest from loans, transaction fees between users, exchange fees, and token buybacks are charged in MFC and taken out of circulation. Considering the floor price in BUSD and smart contract divided by the MFC circulation, so we already talked about this, all transactions on the platform increase the price floor, making MFC the world's only DeFi truly owned by its users. And I think we all can agree that this is not something that you have ever seen before, which I think makes it really amazing. Now, let's talk about how users are rewarded in this platform. One of the biggest ways is the increase in the value of the MFC and the increase in the floor price of the MFC, and that assurity that even if the whole market crash, even if you're watching everyone else's portfolio, drop, you would know that yours is never going to drop or not below at a certain level. And when you sell it later on, when the price is doubled, you make profit. So that's one of the biggest reward that is being given out to the users. But still, there are many other ways that you can use. One of the ways is loan. So we talked about how MFC gives out loans, and this is done against the floor price. So let's say that the floor price is of $1. Now you take $5,000 of loan and you use your 5,000 MFC coins. So you still have those 5,000 MFC coins in there that you can get back after you return. So you have taken the 5,000 and you utilize those, whatever you want to do with that, you do that. And afterwards, when you come back, you give back the 5,000 with the interest, which will be at that point about like $500 to $600. So you've given that interest and you get back your MFC coins, whichever the amount that was. But now, after let's say a year, it is doubled. Sorry, I think I forgot to mention it's up for a year. So you take $5,000 loan, and after a year, now you're back to return it with interest. So $5,000 for a year, it'll probably be $500, $600 interest. So you pay back something about like $5,600, and you get back your MFC coins, which now after a year maybe have doubled in price. So you don't get $5,000 worth of MFC back. You get $10,000. Your MFC are now worth $10,000 because they've, the price have doubled. So this is what happens. So if you calculate, you took 5,000, you give back interest of $600, let's say, and now you have like, get back about like $10,000. So you can use that to return the principal and the interest, and you have about like 4,500 extra. And that's how basically this whole thing works. There's another way actually. You repeat the same thing, you get the $5,000, but you use that $5,000 to buy more MFC coins. So after a year, you give back the $5,000, you give back the principal, you give back the loan, but now it has doubled. So in that case, if you do all the calculation and stuff, it'll be somewhere about like $14,500 something dollars. So that's pretty, I think, insane. And you can utilize both of these. If you're not catching up with me right now, you have this video right here that'll basically clear this whole thing out. And we also have the referral system, so you can use that. And apart from these, there's going to be a license fee that will be used in order to buy and sell through their exchange. The license fee is $0 for the first 10,000 users, and after 10,000 users, it will become $5. And every increase of 10,000 users, it will increase, $5 more until it reaches 100,000 users, and then it'll be $50, respectively. 90% of this license fee, it goes back to the users, and the 10% is used to buy back, to create demand on the exchange. Anyways, this is all I have for you guys in this project, in this amazing project actually. This is called My Freedom Coin. So make sure that you check it out. I'm going to link all the links in the description so you can check it out. So make sure that you do that. And yeah, if you have any questions, of course, ask me in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video shortly. So stay tuned. Disclaimer: trading digital assets involve significant risk and can result in the loss of your invested capital. You should ensure that you fully understand the risk involved and take into consideration your level of experience, investment objectives, and seek independent financial advice if necessary. It is up to you whether to invest or not.